How to survive a walk in the woods. It would love to eat you. That's what my mother once told me. She said once she saw something outside, in the woods, and that it saw her too. I've always been forbidden from entering those godforsaken woods. That is, because no local man or woman, no matter how idiotic, we have plenty of those around here, would ever enter the forest at the end of the town. At least, not after what happened to that Nolan kid. Billy Nolan might as well have been Satan's spawn for all I know. That kid, God rest his soul, was restless, to say the least. He was the oldest of the Nolan boys. His parents were good folks. So were his 4 siblings. One foggy winter morning, though, little Billy went for a hike he would never return from. His screams could be heard across the town, full of pain, agony, distress. Half the men raced there, running through those woods, but the boy was nowhere to be seen. My father was the one who discovered what was left of Billy near the lake, and Billy's screams still echo in the ears of those who searched for him. Even I still hear those screams sometimes at night. That was a big tragedy for our tight-knit community. I can remember how much Mrs. Nolan shrieked and shouted and cried, how she scratched herself all over with those long nails of her until she bled, how her eyes were wild like a madwoman when the whole town went to the burial of Billy's ears, 3 toes, 7 fingers, eyeballs, and several organs. That's all they ever found of him. And that was the last time a local had ever set foot in that godforsaken forest. Those empty-headed tourists, though, they don't care. They always try to act superior like they know and we don't. But sadly for them, that ain't the case here. Those out-of-towners always thinking that we're trying to pull their leg and mess with their little heads. A legend, they say. Nonsense. Fairy tales. It ain't fairy tales a few hours later when they first go into the forest. Not when the screaming starts for everyone to hear. From the town, we can hear the tree branches cracking in two. The agony of the hikers, their desperate cries and their pleas. But we can't do anything except look at each other sadly. It ain't our fault they didn't listen, and boy, those visitors never do. Now that I think of it, there must have been some people who made it out alive. Except for Billy's search squad, some other tourists have survived the forest. It's not likely you'll make it out alive, but not impossible either. If you want to go out there, well, I'll tell you not to. But if you insist, remember you're on your own. We can't help you out there. There's some pieces of advice a man like me can offer you, though. You may suddenly feel an urge to look behind you. For heaven's sake, don't. You won't see anything. People never do. Once you frantically check behind you, the urge to look will grow more and more intense, until you won't be able to stop. Look at what's in front of you. You may even hear it calling for you if you stand perfectly still and quiet. It may sound like your mother, your father, or even your best friend. Never answer, no matter who you hear out there. It's not them. You may feel alarmed, but don't let the terror take hold. It can feel that. And after all, it was your own decision to enter the woods, remember? Please, trust your gut. If you feel something suspicious about a specific path, don't follow it. You'll probably avoid whatever's waiting at the end of it. Out in those woods, you need to use your senses to the fullest. Keep your eyes open. Smell. Listen. It's one thing to hear the crunching of leaves and twigs when you walk. It's another thing to hear it when you're alone, standing stock still. Pay close attention. Lastly, make sure you remember your way out. As soon as you get lost, you're just another piece of fresh meat. And no one is crazy enough to come and try to save you. I really hope you're one of those that listen. We can't take the screaming anymore.